The late 20th century was an era defined by power, speed, and audacity in the automotive world. At the heart of this era was a rugged breed of vehicles known as muscle cars. These behemoths of the blacktop roared with great big V8 engines and dominated not just streets, but also the cultural imagination of America. Yet, behind the thrilling image of these iconic machines lurked a tale of near extinction. A story driven not by rubber or metal, but by oil and policy. It all began in the early 1970s, an era when muscle cars were at their zenith. Brands like Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge epitomized freedom and power, well encompassed by their hard-charging pony cars. However, this golden age of raw horsepower was abruptly threatened by a global event that altered the automotive landscape forever: the 1973 oil crisis. The decision by the Organization of Arab Petroleum, exporting countries to halt oil shipments to Western nations as a geopolitical maneuver, was not initially foreseen as an existential threat to muscle cars, but its ripples were profound. As oil prices skyrocketed, gasoline swiftly followed suit, quadrupling in cost almost overnight. The muscle car, once considered an embodiment of the American dream, suddenly appeared as a reckless luxury. With gas mileage efficiency hardly a priority for these mighty vehicles, their consumption patterns became unsustainable for the average consumer. The impact was not just on everyday drivers, but also profound across the entire US auto industry, forcing manufacturers to recalibrate long-held priorities. While consumers felt the pinch of fuel prices, legislators felt an urgency. Focus shifted sharply toward efficiency and conservation, igniting a wave of regulatory reform. In 1975, the U.S. Congress enacted the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, which, among other things, introduced corporate average fuel economy standards, or CAFE standards. For muscle cars, whose charm lay in their muscle, these regulations were a heart-rending blow. These new fuel economy regulations demanded drastic reductions in fuel consumption, posing a dilemma for manufacturers. Many feared there was simply no viable way to achieve compliance while maintaining both performance and profitability. Consequently, the production of large displacement engines was significantly curtailed, resulting in vehicles that lacked the signature power expected from a muscle car. As automakers scrambled to comply, the glitzy promise of 400 horsepower was shaved down to a more paltry offering. Muscle cars, it seemed, were being re-engineered into something else entirely, at best pale shadows of their former glory. The blow from skyrocketing insurance premiums further compounded the muscle cars' woes. Insurers, wary of the high incident and casualty rates associated with the targets of young, thrill-seeking individuals, commenced placing higher premiums on these sporty cars, further eroding their appeal to potential buyers. Therein lies the lesser-told story of how economic forces and regulatory frameworks almost erased muscle cars from commercial production lines. Yet their decline wasn't an end, rather a pause, as the allure of speed and strength could not be easily extinguished. Throughout the 1980s, enthusiasts and automakers alike held on to hope, holding garage and basement workshops where the spirit of these cars was revitalized, if not officially acknowledged by automakers themselves. By the mid-1980s and well into the 90s, a rebirth was on the horizon. The introduction of innovative technologies offered a resurgence of interest. Fuel injection, turbocharging, and advancements in engineering gradually enhanced efficiency and performance, promising a reconciled future for muscle cars. They emerged from their chrysalis reimagined, with nimbler handling and comparative efficiency, while retaining their visceral appeal. Today, when one sees modern iterations of muscle cars, from Dodge Challengers to the revered Ford Mustangs, they embody lessons learned from that era of crisis. They are both a nod to their storied past and a testament to evolutionary adaptation, integrating New World tech while keeping the soul-stirring engine rumble that once defined them. So as we marvel at these horses galloping anew on asphalt paths, it's worth remembering the intricate dance of history and innovation that kept their legacy alive. Muscle cars were never truly defeated, only challenged. And through that challenge, they were reborn resilient and redefined, much like the very spirit of innovation they have always represented. This is why, despite the odds stacked against them by global forces, muscle cars never truly died. They merely transformed, a powerful reminder of an industry's tenacity and ingenuity.